To deep dive into the untold personal story of an FBI agent returning to the field just 1 year after the Silence of the Lambs, Clarice is a wild ride. Cody standing by with more on the new hit show.
And not just with myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the great Kal Penn!
Woo!
Kal Penn, I'm loving Clarice. It's so great. My first question to you is, in the pilot, the first line that you uttered was, her neighbors say she puts up Christmas lights every year. Was that, an aside, a little nod to a very Harold and Kumar Christmas? Please say yes. Please say yes.
Yes. No. I hadn't even thought about that. This is the kind of fan backstory that I wish I had thought about before we shot that scene.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad I picked up on that. I can't believe that you guys didn't have a discussion about this. Okay, so we're on episode 3 tonight. Give us a little catch up for people who haven't watched it. I am addicted to it. It's a great treadmill show. You put it on the treadmill, you will run very fast.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks you in. Thank you, by the way. So if you haven't tuned in yet, episode 1, sort of the pilot establishing the world of what happens a year after Silence of the Lambs. Episode 2, we have this huge case that was sort of like a Waco, Texas compound that was holding people hostage. So tonight's episode, we're getting to know Michael Kudlitz's character. He plays our boss. And Clarice, who obviously comes from a psychology, behavioral sciences background, the two of them go head-to-head in questioning suspects. So Kudlitz's character, very sort of type A, very aggressive in how he questions people. And Clarice, who's much more thoughtful and tries to find clues by connecting with somebody. So that kind of back and forth between the two of them creates a lot of tension that'll set up the rest of the season. So tonight's a great time to tune in.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. He doesn't really dig her because she goes with her gut. She's a little softer. Matter of fact, he said in the pilot, he was talking about that. He was like, we don't go with our gut here. We go with the science. Let me throw this out there. I don't know anybody personally in the CBS programming department, but if we could put you on first and then Mike Coulter's Evil on second, it would do wonders for our late night local news numbers, because ain't nobody going to sleep, man. Ain't nobody going to sleep.
That's right. There's a thriller darkness to the way they've shot Clarice. It looks like a movie more than a TV show. And that's very cool as a fan of this kind of genre, because it sucks you in. It's not as pacey. You can take your time with it. But yeah, I mean, you may need a little help going to sleep after.
You, of course, took a little pause in your acting career to work in the Obama-Biden administration. We have a little extra time. Can you give us a Joe story? Do you have a good Joe story?
Oh man, yeah, I do. I didn't know that Joe Biden doesn't drink beer or alcohol, and I had gone to a campaign event somewhere, and the bartender at this campaign event said, have this beer, it's Joe Biden's favorite. And I was like, oh, that's great. Drank this beer and didn't realize till I was done that he'd given me a non-alcoholic beer. So months later, I ran into the vice president at an event. We were doing a different event, and I told him that story. And you could tell he was perplexed. He's like, man, you got bamboozled. You basically just got... Somebody took away your chance of having a beer, but he was very amused by it. Really connects with people when he talks to
the only way
to
that
them.
story would be better if he threw in a malarkey. That's the only way.
Right,
Kal
exactly.
Penn, thank you for joining us, man. It's so much fun seeing you and Clarice. Really bringing up those acting chops, man. I love it. It's really good. It's really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, tonight you can see the 3rd episode. He said you can still jump in. It's fine. The water's fine.
He is one of my favorite actors.
Oh, he's
Everything
great.
he does, I love. He's so good. Thanks, Code.